Hello, my friend. This is Clyde, the source of my strength. In 2 Corinthians 12 and verse 9, we read, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me." I have been hearing this line from a song in my head for the last 2 days. His strength is perfect when our strength is gone. The more it plays in my head is the more I find myself thinking beyond just enjoying the song and going deeper. I'm challenged to invite you to share with me some thoughts that give meat to this idea. The first century evangelist teacher named Paul was also a prolific writer, and God used him to write a lot of what we now call the New Testament. Let us zero in on a piece of Paul's personal life. We talk about him nearly 2,000 later after his death as if he was some Superman, someone who conquered human inadequacies and challenges, but in fact, it is the opposite. He was just a man like you and me, or maybe I should say, I can personally identify with some of his struggles. Paul had a problem, something that he called a thorn in the flesh. Now, mind you, Paul was not one given to complain and bellyaching about his issues, so this must have been a significant thorn. Normally, if there's a thorn inside of you, you could pluck it out. It might cause some discomfort at the time, but once you've got it out of your flesh, then it is not long before you return to normal. That is, if it is a normal thorn. Thorns, however, can be brutal and injurious, like the crown of thorns they plaited and slammed on the head of Jesus. That was some thorns that they could weave them together to make a crown. Anyway, let's get back to Paul's story. He prayed 3 times and asked God to remove the thorn. Sometimes we find some things in our lives that we cannot get rid of, and we have to ask God to take it away from us. For some of us, it might be a health issue like a cancer diagnosis, or it might be a weakness for a particular sin that you fight and it just doesn't go away. For some, it might be a bad relationship that you cannot get out of no matter how hard you try. But I'm sure each of us can understand what Paul is saying, that he turned to God, and not once, not twice, but 3 times he asked God to help out a brother. For some of us, it might be way more than 3 times, too many to count. Take the brother who struggles with pornography. On a good day, he swears he's not going to look at it again ever. The guilt, the embarrassment, even though nobody knows, he wants the last time to be the last time. He has been praying about it for the longest while, and 3 weeks after the last prayer, he finds himself viewing it again. Or the lady who keeps ordering stuff from Amazon, stuff that she doesn't need. She returns them more times than not, and she promises herself to be more responsible until the delivery man resumes delivering to his favorite customer. Instead of removing the thorn, God says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." This is what I want us to talk about. That line, "my strength is made perfect in weakness." Now, if you can't identify, this is not for you. But some of us, we need help in the strength department. You want to lose weight, seriously, and every Sunday after the huge dinner, you secretly promise to go on a diet next day, and by Thursday you're back to eating all the bad food. You lack the strength to stick to the diet no matter how hard you try. God, I need your strength to stick to my resolve. The David and Goliath showdown was an epic battle. We never saw where David stopped to pray and asked God for strength to defeat this uncircumcised Philistine. What we heard David say is, "You come to me with sword and spear and a shield, necessary weapons for a fight like we are going to have. But Buster, I am coming to you in the name of the Lord of hosts." Later on in life, we found out that David had a secret source of strength. He wrote that God is my refuge and God is my strength, a very present help in trouble. I go back to the area of immorality because that is often the elephant in the room. Many people, mainly men, struggle with doing immoral things and they genuinely want to stop. But it is like a suction pump, keeps pulling you back into what has become deplorable and shameful. Many of us, like Paul, like me, need a source of strength outside of myself. God is that source. God told Paul, my strength is your backup plan, your secret resource when you have come to the end of your own strength. In your weakness, my strength is available. In those times when the thorn in the flesh raises its ugly head, when it becomes unbearable, when you are being overcome by the pain and discomfort and the sense of defeat that this thorn causes, I am your strength. But it is not automatic. Like the appliance on your kitchen counter, you have to plug it into the socket to get power, and then you have to press the on button to get it working. You and I need to learn Paul. He acknowledged God as his source of strength, so he practiced prayer. God answers prayers. He learned to do what God tells him to do, and he does it. Stay away from all appearances of evil. He learned that to be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might, it means having a dynamic relationship with God, not intermittently, but constantly. You will soon find out that when things are going well with you and God, that in those times, his strength is perfect when your strength is gone.